like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi.
What's going on, y'all? Hope everyone's having a blessed day today. So I really wanted to come on here and do this video for you all because I know it's been a while since I uploaded a video, and I kind of want to get this YouTube thing going. So I definitely wanted to just start making videos for you all and getting you guys knowing how to become an investor, but also how to start your own business. But before we get into that, I know the title of this video is why I decided to become an investor. So if that is something that you want to stay tuned to listen to, definitely stay tuned, but don't forget to like and subscribe this video because I will be dropping a lot of videos, a lot of knowledge and value for you all about me. So excuse my background, I am shooting in my room, but I definitely want to get this video down. I also go by Miss Hazel J. You can go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I'll go ahead and link that down below. But for you guys that definitely know me as like a model, or I know a lot of people know I just became a mom, so definitely those are some of the roles and titles that, you know, a lot of people know me from, but no one knows me as an investor and an educator. So that is why I decided to do this video, because I definitely want to take you guys on a journey with me so you guys can also start becoming an investor, but also become your own independent business owner. I'll give you guys a little bit of background about me. So I'm 28 years old. I'm from the north suburbs of Chicago, and I definitely started investing last November of 2020. But before I got introduced to how to invest and an opportunity that definitely changed my life, I just became a new mom. I became a new mom last March, and I had a son, and definitely it has been a blessing ever since then. But also right before I had my son, guys, I was working a 9 to 5, and it was like my most paying job that I ever had in my life. I was making over $60,000 a year.
My life, I was making over $60,000 a year.
It started to get stressful. It started to get really stressful, and I was like, you know, starting to become depressed, and every other day I was like going home crying because I was like stressed from work. I never been that stressed from a job before, but also it was kind of like I had things going on in my personal life, and it was just like stress all around across the board. When I got to a point where I was like, you know what, I don't know if I want to do a 9 to 5 anymore. I don't know if I want to continue to put my time into something that I'm not passionate about anymore. And you know, I always liked helping people, but I never wanted to feel stressed about it, right? I always wanted to feel some type of joy of helping people. So when I lost the passion for the job, I knew it was done. I knew it was over and done. And that's when I decided to just put in my 2-week notice, and I was like, you know what, I can't do it anymore. I gotta find something different. That's also when I found that I was pregnant. So it was kind of like a really scary time in my life. Like I never thought, like, you know, I wouldn't have a job and, you know, be carrying a child at the same time. It was just the way how life happened. But really, you know, I kind of wasn't too nervous about it. I just knew I couldn't deal with the stress anymore. So what I did was I actually took out my 401k, and I decided to just live off that for a couple months and just focus on my pregnancy. And so in between that time, I was also becoming a lash tech because I wanted to dive into other entrepreneur things. I wanted to just start becoming my own boss, you know, make my own money. I don't want to listen to anybody. And so I became a lash tech, y'all. And I literally, you know, worked as a lash tech for a couple months, but it was getting to the point where I was starting to get a little bit big in my pregnancy, and, you know, sitting down for 2 hours straight, that just wasn't cutting it for me. I was like, you know what? This is too tedious. This is not it right now, you know? So I definitely had to just look at some other things. So I stopped lashing, but I knew I still wanted to have some type of income coming in, and, you know, coming from an employer's mindset, right? I really want you guys to tune in with me. Coming in with an employer mindset, I knew, I was like, I'm used to getting a check. I'm used to, you know, knowing how much money I'm gonna have at the end of the week. And, you know, when you're in a position where you're not knowing where your next income is gonna go, you kind of just start to worry just a little bit. And so what I did was, after I stopped lashing, y'all, I actually started working at Target for a couple months as a seasonal position because, you know, having income coming in, I was like, okay, at least it's something, right? So once my 401k was out, you know, I wiped it out, and then I actually got to the point where I was so big I couldn't work anymore. You know, I was just like, you know what, let me just focus on this pregnancy. I'm not gonna worry about any bills or anything like that. And I had my son last March. And so we all know what happened last year, right? The pandemic hit everybody super duper hard. And it was like, you know, I wasn't too fond of anybody watching my son. I wasn't too, you know, fond of being around anybody, right? You know, everybody was like, so like 6 feet, give me 6 feet. And so, you know, I kind of was just like on that wave of everybody else, where I was just like, you know what, I got to find a way. I got to make some money from home, because I wanted to watch my son, you know, so I don't have to, you know, have him be watched by anybody else. But I also wanted to just have an income at the same time. Last year till November, I was living off unemployment. I was living off stimulus checks. And, you know, during that time, I was also going through postpartum. So it was a really difficult time. I'm a big worrier. I don't know about you guys, but I worried a lot of the times. Just worried about what's next. And, you know, you kind of get caught up in, like, you know, I would say, like, you get caught up in, I had to think about that. You guys understand what I'm saying? You just get caught up not knowing what's next. You're always thinking about your next move and not knowing what's next. And that's pretty much where I was at. And plus, you know, having this new role of being a mom, you know, trying to figure everything out with a crying baby, you know, figure out their schedules and making sure that they're getting enough, because I also breastfed. So I was like always on a clock when it came to breastfeeding, but it would take a lot out of me. I was literally praying for something, guys. I was praying for something to kind of come around. And, you know, I really did not want to go back to work. I know you're thinking like, well, why don't you go back to work? Well, no, I did not want to go back to work. For one, the pandemic. And then two, I was like, you know what? I can find something to work from home. I just don't know if I'll be able to just concentrate at home and take care of a child at the same time. And at home is still a job. You still have to complete the task and, you know, the work that's being asked of you. And the way how, you know, my newborn was at the time, like, definitely needed my attention all the time. And, you know, when they sleep, you kind of sleep. So that's pretty much what I was doing, trying to catch up on, you know, rest, and just really trying to figure out, you know, being a mom, you know, being a new parent. You know, we all go through that, if you know what I'm talking about, if you have a child or kids with an S. So literally last November, I remember, you know, my back was starting to be against the wall, and I was like, you know what, I gotta find something gotta shake at this point. And that's when this opportunity came around. One of my old college buddies kind of hit me up and was like, hey, I got this opportunity I want you to see. And I'm kind of like, well, bro, I haven't talked to you in like 10 years. So, hey, how you doing? What's going on? What you got to show me? And, you know, it was kind of weird at first, but I just decided to just see what it was. And that's when he invited me to like this webinar, and I clicked on the link, and I literally just saw this guy yelling and talking about investing. And I don't know what I'm watching right now, but he really got a lot of energy. So that's kind of what kept me intrigued. But I was really starting to tune in into the information that he was talking about. And he talked a lot about putting yourself in a better position, putting yourself in a better position financially, you know, spiritually, just getting your mind right. And, you know, being in a space where you will get mentorship. And that was a lot of things that I didn't have, you know, during that time, or I didn't really know where to get guidance at, you know, as far as like navigating life anymore. So I was like, you know what, I gotta see what this is about. Like, I'm already, you know, really liking what they're talking about. But then they started saying how they were turning cents into dollars, dollars into hundreds, hundreds into thousands. And I'm like, where are they flipping money like this? Like, I was literally like, what is going on? So they were like flipping money, and I'm like, where I'm from, that's illegal. Like, I don't know where else they're doing that at without like you like cracking cards. And I'm gonna just be honest, like, that's literally where I come from. And so when I saw, like, it was like you can learn this skill set, and, you know, not saying you're gonna become a millionaire overnight, but you can start being profitable within your first 48 hours. And so I was just like, you know what, I gotta see what this is about. I literally told myself that. I was like, I gotta see what this is about, because I'm like, the way how my mind thinks. I'm a hustler, I'm a provider, now I'm a mom, so I gotta, you know, make sure things is straight. You know, I gotta make sure I'm straight, my family's straight. Even though I have a good support system, y'all, my spouse is there, I have parents, you know, that spoils the heck out of my son, but I really have to just, you know, take control of my life, right? Because the main thing was me getting myself back on track, right? Like I said, I didn't want to go back to a 9-to-5, so I was like, you know what, this has to be something that works, because it's working for a lot of people, so why wouldn't it work for me? I'm smart, I have a degree, I know how to follow directions, so what's up, you know? So I had the money and I just dove all in, and literally ever since November of last year, my life has completely changed. Okay, how? Well, the way how my mind thinks about money now is completely different. No one in my family has ever spoke to me about investing. No one has ever showed me how to invest, right? Or just knowing the things about financial literacy that you should know. Growing up, I didn't have that. I was always, you know, told to like save my money. I was told to like, you know, work hard for my money, go to school, get a good job, and then, you know, you'll be successful. You know, I went to school, I got a degree, and then that's when I was in my job. You know, it was the most paying job. I made more than my parents have made at a job before. But then when I saw how stressful it was on my body, and, you know, just everything around me was just really not where it should have been. So I was just like, you know what? This is really giving me a lot of insight about how I should be navigating life, right? Because a lot of people don't know how money works. So, and that's where a lot of people get caught up in the poor class and middle class and never reach the wealthy class. And I'm not saying I'm like wealthy now, but I put myself in a better position to be able to start, you know, retaining that wealth that was never taught to me. And, you know, I don't blame my parents or anything like that, because it was something that was probably never taught to them. So you're kind of just like in this space of like, you're breaking a generational curse of like, you know, being taught financial literacy, putting yourself in a better position, so now you can start obtaining wealth. I started learning all this once I got involved into what we call is Forex, or other words, the foreign exchange market. But no one really dives really in to see what it's about. And so my goal on this channel is to really, you know, educate you guys and get you guys in tune to what the financial market is and how did it start, where did it come from, and how you guys can get involved. But also, you know, I got partnered up with some wealthy people that also mentor me, because in this business you meet a lot of wealthy people, you meet a lot of other like-minded individuals who decided to take a leap on themselves and see if this thing works. And so literally ever since then, like, I've been a more positive person. I've definitely, like, you know, mindset has definitely changed, and I'm just like ready for it to take on any challenge that comes my way, because I know the way I'm getting mentored is something that I always needed. It was the guidance that I always needed, but never knew it would come in this form. And so now it has like really taken me on like a spiritual journey, and I'm starting to just like get closer to who I am as a person. And I would have never had that if it wasn't for this opportunity of joining, you know, like-minded individuals who also wanted to learn more about financial literacy. I'm gonna be dropping a lot more knowledge on this channel to you guys, so you guys can get educated, because maybe someone never taught you what you needed to know. No one's ever taught you, you know, how to invest in, you know, cryptos and, you know, all these new things that are starting to come about today. So if you guys want to know more about that, or you want to see some certain videos that I may have the answer to, or maybe just even have some suggestions for you to start investing, so definitely stay tuned on this channel, and I will get back to you guys and keep dropping knowledge to y'all, because I'm telling y'all, this is what we need. This is exactly what we need, and we are in the right time to be able to put ourselves in a better position. So guys, again, don't forget to like and subscribe on this channel, and I will see you guys next time.
So I don't even bother. Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Prada. The basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even